Libra, this is your tarot reading for the month of December. To date, it's been something of a mixed bag. As I was dealing all of the cards, it became apparent to me that maybe the effects of the global issues that I've been talking about for so long are now bedding in and becoming more personal, because we've been through a series, an interregnum. A big change has happened, a cycle has ended and a new one began, maybe even two. So I don't know if yours are personal or to do with the global. They look personal to me, I've got to say. It doesn't begin well. So bottom right, 5 of Pentacles, card of poverty or maybe no friends. And right now we have the Death card, sudden and abrupt endings, probably unwelcome endings. We have been getting that recently to almost be similar to the Tower card, whereby this is cathartic, it's almost necessary. You, perhaps not unnaturally, become a hermit. You look for answers within yourself. And there's no harm in that. The overall energy is that of the 3 of Wands, and that's you action planning, which I see as quite a positive thing to be doing. So it's probably, despite what we've said so far, quite a positive reading. The energy that would lead to the outcome is the Empress. She's an Earth Mother, very in touch with nature, in touch with her feelings, in touch with her subconscious, in touch with the unspoken. But she's also in touch with everybody else's feelings and subconscious. Powerful for sure, but sort of power behind the throne, more sort of power. And someone that likes life's little luxuries, and certainly this month it's tended to be about that. Now, she doesn't like them in a sort of a boastful way. She wants the best for everybody. What would change the outcome? Multiple blessings, particularly monetary blessings, but by yourself. So maybe the outcome is related to you trying to engage with other people. So maybe the Empress, when I said it was about luxury, and you don't just want it for yourself, maybe that's why we get this outcome. But the outcome doesn't seem related to it, in as much as the outcome is the Page of Swords. Going out looking for inspiration and answers, which I'm sure you'll get. So, Libra, pretty interesting. Lots of big cards here to discuss. So stay with me and see what it's really all about. And yeah, the overall energy is that of the 3 of Wands. This is like action planning. You've already considered the options and are now really saying, right, how do we operationalize them? So, you know, much more than simply considering things. And often it's associated, well, you can see he's looking overseas, so it's often associated with something quite radical. I mean, it could be something overseas, but it's often something that's a departure from what you're used to. I'd see it as an extremely positive card, and it does run throughout the entire reading, but at the moment the energies feel a little bit disjointed. Now, this is meant to unite them, but it's hard to see how right now, but maybe we'll get there. Now, in the past, this is probably why we've got this action planning being quite radical. In the past, we've got the card, the 5 of Pentacles, which is a card of poverty, maybe even no friends. It's often as much a psychological feeling of poverty as much as an objective situation. I mean, it could be objective, you know. It often doesn't last that long. You can see they're walking in front of a chapel with a stained glass window, suggesting there's always hope. So I think there is hope, but I think this is the reason why you're planning something very different. Current energy is that of the death card, sudden and abrupt endings, often not pleasant endings. Now, I could imagine the death card coming before the poverty card, so after an ending you're plunged into poverty, but no, this is poverty and then an ending. So I'm just talking aloud now for you to understand what I mean. I'm not suggesting this for 1 minute. But supposing you sort of lost your job and were plunged into poverty, and then you lost your house, well, that would definitely be a death card. We have been getting the death card recently, almost interchangeably, with the Tower card, suggesting that it's often in your best interest that whatever you were doing, you need to rebuild because you hadn't got things right. So I'm not seeing it that negatively at the moment, particularly as we've got such other positive cards, including your action planning, you know. Poverty and death, so I'm hardly surprised that we've got the Hierophant in the future. Sorry, not the Hierophant, the Hermit in the future. Going inside yourself, looking for answers. Looking for answers why you were plunged into poverty, why this sudden and abrupt ending happened. What might you be able to do differently? And I don't think you can effectively action plan without this sort of introspection. So I think it's a very good thing to be doing this introspection. I mean, it's something that I do all the time, particularly through my meditation. But by the same token, I do tend to overthink. Now, there's no warning in this that you're overthinking, or I don't think there is. But yeah, you can overthink as a result of this. So I think it's highly appropriate here, let's put it that way. The card that leads to the outcome is the Empress card, and not only have we been getting the Empress a lot recently, but we've been getting the Empress in this position. And normally it's been that you enjoy the good things in life, but it makes people jealous and they react against you. Even though you're quite happy to share the good things, you want everybody to enjoy in life's beauty and wonderful luxurious things, but the ending isn't the same here. So maybe we need to explore some of the other meanings of the Empress. I mean, she's certainly strong and powerful, a very feminine energy, even though you may be male, someone very much in touch with nature, someone in touch with her own feelings and subconscious, but also the feelings and subconscious of others. Very nurturing, a mother-like, you know, an earth mother type. So I don't quite know what that's doing here. It's clearly important. She is somebody that would reach out to others, nurturing, helping others. I was going to say she could be a bit bossy. Well, I think she could be. But, you know, one of those sort of women, and you know, excuse me saying women, but, you know, we are talking about the Empress, so it's a feminine energy. One of those women that sort of organises the leisure activities of everyone. I mean, does it in a lovely way, you know, but can get on your nerves. I wonder if that's at all relevant. I don't know. And the reason why I mentioned the somewhat gregarious nature of the Empress is that she leads to the outcome, but what would change the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, she's wealthy, but there's no... Well, yes, of course, we did have the poverty card. So I wonder if we should be reading into this card, wealth. What I was reading into it, that you were all alone. It could be either, but yeah, if you were to be blessed with money, then you needn't rush to the outcome. And the outcome isn't a bad outcome. But yes, if you were wealthy and happy in your comfort, happy with what you've got, then you wouldn't feel the need to do any more, maybe. What was the overall energy? Planning. So it is action. So it's action that you wouldn't need to act if you were blessed. Yeah. The outcome is the Page of Swords, going out and seeking information. So seeking information, probably related to your planning, could be related to you being a hermit, that you've discovered things deep inside yourself and you want answers to them. So you're going off seeking them. Yeah. Seeking answers subconscious, yeah. The Empress, she understands the subconscious, understands the deeper meanings. So you've been exploring yourself and understood what your deeper motivation, etc. is, and now maybe you're seeking to find out about others. Entirely possible. Let's get some clarification, because I've run away with that a little now. So I seek clarification on this Death card. So I think that's important. And first of all, we have the Five of Wands. Conflict. Disagreements. Maybe ones that are easily resolved. We then have the card of Deception. Now I don't know if it's you being deceived or people deceiving you. It's more likely to be you being deceived, because of course we do have the poverty card. Unless you went into poverty, you were deceived and went into poverty and then thought, well, I've got to get the money back or whatever, and became a deceiver yourself. That's possible, because we do have judgment, karmic judgment for probably this deception, and that's what's brought about the ending, this karmic judgment. Let's look at each individually. Yeah, the first card is the card of conflict. Now remember, this conflict brings about this bitter ending. So, although the conflict might be bitter, it's one that could have been resolved if only you spoke it through. If you look, they're all trying to do something, but they're trying to do it in a different way. They're all pulling in different directions. And if only they could be coordinated, it could be resolved. So as I say, it must be a big conflict or it wouldn't result in death, but a little bit more understanding and it could have been resolved. Now, I can't see any other energies that shed any more light on it, but yeah, what a shame, what a shame. And the next card is the Seven of Swords, which is a card of deception. So is you being deceived brought about this ending? Could well be. I'd associate the Ten of Swords more with deceptions and endings, but why not? Could well be that there's been this deception and it's pulled the rug from under your feet on something. It doesn't say anywhere here that it's money. Oh, I suppose it could be money because if you remember, the Nine of Pentacles probably is about money. Oh, and of course we do have the card of poverty as well, don't we? But then this ending comes after the poverty card. Which is what led me to wonder if it's you who's been deceiving people. Maybe you've been deceived yourself and it's plunged you into poverty and you feel that you have to also join in these deceptions. I don't know. As you know, I live in Indonesia, and an awful lot of foreigners who settle here almost within their first month of arriving are swindled out of their life savings, and then they become swindlers themselves, and it's a vicious cycle. People come here full of hope with their life savings and get swindled out, and then what can they do but try and swindle more new arrivals? Terrible thing, yeah. Judgment card, Day of Judgment, Karmic Judgment. So, oh yes, this is why I'm thinking you're the deceiver. You don't have to be, but it's judgment, karmic judgment, that brings about this ending. So the ending's happening to you, so you're being judged on something, aren't you? It's most likely that you have been a deceiver. You've been deceiving these people that you've had arguments with and conflicts with. That's why they're not resolved, because you don't want them to be resolved. And your comeuppance is this ending. It's karmic. It's karmic judgment against you. I don't normally read this way and sort of point the finger at the sign I'm reading for, but Libra, I have to say, everything is suggesting it's you. Well, accept the judgment, accept that you've done wrong, and move on. And that does appear to be what you do. Libra, in the past, you lost some money. It might have pushed you into poverty. It may well be that you were deceived and that's why you lost the money. And in order to get yourself back, you start deceiving others. It does lead to conflict. And I think it's just to sort of try and, you've seen other people doing it to you, and so you're pretty desperate anyway. So you feel it's justified. But the universe, God, Allah, doesn't think that at all. And you're going to be punished for it. And you're going to lose something. It'll be abrupt and it won't be pleasant. But I think you take it in your stride. I think you realise you've done wrong and you accept your punishment. And you go inside yourselves looking for answers, saying, why did I do this? How should I really behave? And you also start planning your future, planning something completely different so that you don't have to resort to this sort of thing ever again. And if as a result of these plans, because I think you might well be blessed once you've turned over a new leaf. So if you can be just happy with what you've got, then there is no need this ending doesn't occur, but the ending's quite a good ending anyway. You see, I think you're beginning to understand your motivation, your psychology, and the psychology of others, and you're interested to learn more. Why is it that you were deceived, and why is it that you felt that you should deceive others? And this is something that quite fascinates you, because it goes deep inside your personal psychology, but the personal psychology of others. So you go out on a mission trying to get the information and understand these things. And I think it will come to you, because I think you're quite open, to be perfectly honest, Libra.